So, I've been thinking about something. You know that feeling when another year's ending and you suddenly remember all the stuff you said you'd do?
Oh, yeah. The resolutions, the plans, and all the surprises in between.
Indeed. So, today I thought we could look back a little what we learned, what stuck, and what totally didn't.
I love this. It's like a performance review for your own life, but way less stressful.
Totally. And like no managers involved, just us. Welcome to Curious Listeners Podcast, everyone. My name is Anna, and we are happy you joined in. Let's go on, Tony.
Okay, so when people think looking back at the year, they always think about the huge things, right? The big trips, the new jobs.
Right, the headline moments.
Yeah, the headlines. But a year it's not a newspaper. It's the small stuff, the day to day things that make up a life.
Mm-hmm. I guess so. Like, one of my genuine highs this year was, and this is going to sound silly,
Go on.
I finally kept a plant alive. A little succulent on my desk. It's still green.
That is a huge win, a huge, huge win. My plants, well, let's just say they haven't been as lucky.
See? It's a tiny win, but it made me happy every time I saw it. It's just this little spot of green.
I totally get that. It's the consistency. For me, a low was I tried to build that bookshelf from scratch. Remember I told you about that?
Oh, I remember you sent photos. It looked, creative.
Creative is a nice word for it. It was so wobbly and tilted. My books deserved better. I ended up just buying one in the end.
Aw.
So that was a low. Not a disaster, just a failure to launch, you know?
A bookshelf low. I get it. And then there's the meh stuff, the everyday, making coffee, the commute, watching that TV show that was just okay.
Yes, the forgettable moments. But those moments are most of your life, really.
That's so true.
That's the glue that holds the highs and lows together. You can't have those big, exciting moments without the quiet stuff in between.
You really can't. You can't have mountain peaks without the valleys and the flat, boring roads in between.
The flat, boring roads. That's most of the journey, right? And I think that's okay.
Okay, so thinking about all those things we wanted to start doing, the resolutions, right? What actually stuck with you? Not just for a week, but like for real.
That's a great question. Let me think. You know what's funny? It wasn't the big, ambitious goal. It wasn't go to the gym 5 times a week or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. It never is.
It was something tiny. I started leaving my phone in the other room when I go to bed. That's it.
Oh, that's a big one, though. The impact is huge.
It feels big. At first, it was really hard. You know, that impulse to check it one last time. But now I read more. I actually sleep better. It really, really works.
I love that. That's so good. Oh, oh, me now? Right, sorry. For me, it was deciding to take a 10-minute walk every single lunchtime, even if it's just around the block.
Just 10 minutes?
Yeah, just 10, because it was so small, I couldn't make an excuse not to do it. I don't have time wasn't an excuse anymore. And now I feel weird if I don't. It clears my head. It's like a little reset button in the middle of the day.
A reset button. I like that. I think that's a secret, isn't it? The things that stick are the ones that are easy to start. They're not intimidating.
Right. It's not about like completely changing your life overnight. It's about adding one small good thing and then maybe another.
And another. It adds up. You're right. It really adds up over a year. All right, but we have to talk about the things that were total, complete failures. The things we can laugh about now.
Oh, for sure. The cringe moments, as you called them.
Yes, the cringe moments. I'll go first.
Okay, go.
I decided I was going to become a person who makes their own bread. Sourdough bread.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I bought the special flour, the little basket. I even gave my sourdough starter a name. It was Bob.
You named it Bob?
I did, and Bob was a disaster. The bread was like a rock, a hard, sad rock. I tried 3 times, and then I gave up. Bob did not survive.
Rest in peace, Bob. That's funny story overall. Okay, Mine was I downloaded one of those language apps. I was going to learn Italian. I had these like visions of ordering coffee in Rome.
Very romantic.
Very. And after 2 months, I can confidently say ciao and grazie. That's it. That is all I learned,
Ciao, gracia, you're basically fluent.
basically. But you know what? I learned that I am not a language app person, and maybe that's okay too, don't you think? The lesson wasn't Italian. The lesson was I need a real class with real people to learn.
Probably that is your way. That works for you. My lesson was that I appreciate bakers. I appreciate them so, so much. Sometimes the lesson isn't what you think it's going to be.
Right? It's not always about succeeding. Sometimes it's about learning how you fail and what to do differently next time, or just what not to do.
Speaking of what not to do, that brings up an interesting point. We always focus on resolutions as things to start doing. But what about the things we stopped doing this year? The anti-resolutions, you could call them.
An anti-resolution list. I'm totally on board with that idea. It sounds so much less stressful. Okay, you first. What did you consciously decide to stop doing?
I made a real effort to stop saying yes to every single social invitation I received. I used to have this major fear of missing out, you know? FOMO was my co-pilot. I would drag myself to things I wasn't even excited about just because I felt like I should be there, that I might miss some amazing inside joke.
Oh, I know that feeling so well. It's a special kind of exhaustion, isn't it? The pressure to be everywhere and do everything. It's like you're a social octopus and you're running out of tentacles.
Exactly. And this year, I started just saying no thank you. Politely, of course, but just being honest and saying, you know what, that sounds fun, but I really need a quiet night in. And guess what? The world didn't end. My friends didn't abandon me. And my free time suddenly felt so much more valuable, so much more mine.
That's a massive achievement, seriously. I'm happy for you. You are being honest with yourself, and that's the most important, I think.
What about you?
For me, a big stop was I stopped grabbing my phone and scrolling through the news the second I opened my eyes in the morning. I realized it was starting my entire day with a jolt of anxiety and outrage.
Oh, that's a brilliant one. A digital boundary. So what's the new morning ritual?
You know, how to put it, it's much gentler now. I make my coffee and I either listen to some calm music or sometimes I just sit in silence for 5 minutes and watch the world wake up outside my window. It has completely transformed the tone of my mornings. It's not about being uninformed, it's about choosing not to let chaos be the very first thing I consume each day.
You're curating your headspace. That's probably a more valuable skill than making sourdough. No offense intended to the memory of Bob, of course.
None taken. Bob would have appreciated a calmer morning.
You know, this whole conversation has me thinking. We've talked about plans that worked, plans that failed, and habits we've stopped. But what about the moments that weren't planned at all? The complete surprises. You had at least one of those, don't you?
The curveballs, or the happy accidents, the moments that just sort of happen to you when you're busy making other plans.
Exactly. A few months ago, a friend of mine dragged me to a pottery class. I was convinced I'd be terrible. I had zero plans to ever touch clay. I'm just not an artsy person, but it turned out to be one of the most relaxing, mindful, and genuinely fun afternoons I had all year. I was so focused on not making a mess that I completely forgot to be stressed.
That's fantastic. It's amazing what happens when you let go of the expectation of being good at something. I had a similar experience. I got caught in a sudden torrential downpour and ducked into the first dry place I could find, which happened to be this tiny, old, dusty bookstore I must have walked past 1,000 times.
I love those kinds of stores. What did you find?
Well, I was just planning to wait out the rain, but I started browsing, and I found this book by an author I'd never even heard of tucked away in a corner. I bought it on a whim, and it ended up becoming my absolute favorite read of the entire year. I never would have discovered it if I hadn't been forced off my path. It wasn't a goal, it was pure serendipity.
Serendipity. That's a nice word, but what does that mean exactly? I didn't know that one.
Serendipity, it's the occurrence of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. You know, something like a good luck or happy accident.
Okay, that sounds more familiar. Ah, well, it makes me feel like we should actively try to leave more room in our lives for the unplanned. Maybe the ultimate goal shouldn't be to have a perfect, color coded plan, but to be more open to ditching the plan when a rainy day leads you to a bookstore. So I guess, looking back, the year was a mix of everything. Little wins, some bookshelf related lows, and a lot of just living.
And the few dead sourdough starters. Let's not forget Bob.
And that, but it's all part of it. The good, the bad, and the kind of funny.
Absolutely. And it's all stuff to learn from, every single bit.
Well, that feels like a good place to wrap up, don't you think? Thank you all so much for joining us on this little look back.
We hope you take some time to think about your own year too.
Yeah, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. This has been Curious Listeners. We'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.